Socializing is like holding in a sneeze for 6 hours. I'm smiling, I'm nodding, but I am just one more forced smile away from an emotional aneurysm. I've been team canceled plans for as long as I can remember. That's not a revelation. That's my religion. I've donated. I've been baptized in sweatpants. I even tried to recruit others until they ghosted me, which honestly just proved that they were ready. This is not another video about introversion. What I want to talk about is this existential misfit energy. It's not about needing alone time. It's about never feeling right when I'm not alone. Honestly, I love canceled plans. I would marry a canceled plan. And then I'd throw a party for it and then not go. This is not a story of my general weirdness, but it is a map of strategic detachment. Now, I've never fit in, not in my family, not in school, not at jobs, and definitely not in the world of adult friendships where everyone's expected to casually maintain 13 active emotional relationships at once. I don't know what it is. It's just that I have always felt a few beats off. Like everyone else showed up knowing how to blend in, like they showed up ready to connect, and I showed up wondering how soon I could leave without making it weird. And look, I can fake it. I can do the head tilt. I can ask about your third grader's science fair meltdown. I can pretend I care about your Peloton leaderboard ranking. But under the surface, I'm tracking my exit like a raccoon casing a trash can. I used to feel guilty about it, like something was broken in me. Now I just feel fine. The truth is, there was one thing that I never questioned because it felt too normal to question. And that's exactly why it cost me more than I knew. Now we're going to get to that in just a little bit. It's pretty obvious to me that my people button has always been broken. I've checked the wiring, but nothing's lighting up. I do love my people, my family, my husband. I have a couple of friends. And if they needed me, I would drop everything. If someone got sick, needed help, needed a place to crash, needed bail money or a body buried, I'm there. No hesitation, no question. I keep a shovel in my car and a list of plausible alibis. But saying all that, I've just never been in the mix. I'm not on the group text. I'm the one that you forget to invite but assume will understand. And I usually do. Eventually. That's been the most clear with my family. Now, I don't have kids, and all of my siblings do, and that's a gravitational force that I just don't share. I'm the oldest, so I kind of orbit the family, but like Pluto. I'm still technically part of the system. I'm just very, very cold and far away. They downgraded me emotionally in 2006, and nobody's talked about it since. And for a long time, I thought that meant that something was missing, that maybe I was a bad sibling, like I was missing some kind of intimacy gene that everyone else inherited. Like they all took a class called How to Be a Family, and I was stuck in detention for sarcasm. I tried. I really did. I sent holiday cards. I forced the calls. I kept pretending that if I just pushed through the resistance, I could earn my way into a closeness that never actually fit me. But the truth is, it's not just family. I'm socially misaligned in all the zip codes. Work was actually a little bit easier for me in some ways because there was no emotional preamble, right? We had a task. We had a reason to talk. I could show up, be useful, connect through momentum. But the second it turned into team building or happy hours or a let's do a birthday lunch for Carol, I was out. I didn't want to bond. I wanted to do my work and go home. With friends, it's the same. I care. I show up when it matters, but I can't keep up with check-ins just to prove that I still love you. And that's been my problem with maintaining relationships. I don't need constant contact to stay connected, but I think that other people do. And I'll tell you something else. I am never the one who reaches out first. It's not because I don't care. It's not because I'm not thinking about you. It's because I don't want to bug you. I don't want to seem needy or intrusive or like I'm dragging you away from something more important. I assume that your life is already too full. And honestly, I don't want to find out I was right. Yeah, the older I get, the more obvious it is. I don't do casual connection. I do emergency bonding and Irish exits. I can fake it. I can play the part, but it's not sustainable. If it requires consistent engagement, I will eventually disappear. Not out of neglect, but out of some necessity that I don't quite understand. Do I feel left out sometimes? Of course, I'm human. It stings. But I also know that if I had been invited, I would have stared at the clock for 90 minutes and then gone home overstimulated and resentful and then needing 3 hours and some string cheese just to reset. Not every disconnect comes with a villain. Not everything that hurts is a betrayal. Sometimes it's just clarity. I don't belong in that version of closeness, and maybe you don't either. Maybe we should stop confusing absence with failure. I just keep exposing new weirdnesses about myself. Like, how do you explain flaking on someone that you'd actually take a bullet for? Let me tell you what I actually do, because I don't even fully understand it myself. I don't want to meet people. I don't want to go to brunch. I want to drop in and then drop out. No in between, no pregame, no follow-up happy hour. I don't want to go places. I just want to be wanted. I want the option to say no without being treated like Pluto. I'm not looking for new connections. I'm still confused by the ones that I already have. Even if I don't like someone, I still want them to like me. It's ridiculous. I'll obsess over a wave from someone that I thought was too short. I can clock a conversation as a dead end in 30 seconds and spend the rest of the week dissecting whether I smiled weird or said, take care like a hitman. It's not coming from hate. It's from a lifetime of trying to compensate for a part of me that never learned how to blend in. People call it introversion, but it's more than that. I've been cosplaying a normal adult for 50 years. I call it introvert drag. All of the performance and none of the applause. I used to cover it all with fake warmth, overshoot the emoji count, ask too many questions, follow up like a customer service rep trying not to get fired, all because I couldn't bear the idea that someone might think I was rude. That's how deep this runs. I'll bend myself in knots trying to seem polite, warm, interesting, just so I can walk away believing that I didn't offend anyone by existing, that I passed. Many of my one-on-ones are just people asking, was I weird in that conversation or was I overthinking it? And then I just say, yes. I think that's why I love my one-on-ones so much, because it's just two weirdos dissecting their tone choices from last Tuesday. If that sounds familiar, book a time. We'll overanalyze it together. I used to apologize for this all the time. I would say things like, oh, I'm sorry, I've just been busy. I've been meaning to call. I'm terrible at texting. Yeah, all of that is technically true, but it's also a lie. Because the real truth was I didn't want to. Not in a cruel way. Not that I didn't care. I do. I just couldn't bring myself to perform the niceties. Not that day, not that week, maybe not that month. Usually not even that season. Sometimes I emerge from hibernation like a bear in leggings with 146 unread texts and no plan to answer them. And what pisses me off the most is I wasn't even trying to be fake. I was trying to be good, a good friend, a good coworker. Gold star Sheila with polite follow-ups and emotionally appropriate emojis. But none of it made me feel more connected. It just made me tired and kind of blurry. Like I was slowly trading in pieces of myself for participation points that I didn't even want. Now, I've lived long enough now to know that being liked by everyone isn't worth being unrecognizable to yourself. Lately, I've been trying to figure out why I feel this way. Now, I don't have the money for a therapist right now, so I've been doing the poor girl version of diagnostics. Internet sleuthing with a side of, well, that sounds familiar. Here's what keeps coming up. High self-monitoring, rejection sensitivity, chronic social masking. Now, I'm not chasing a diagnosis or a label. I've got PTSD, major depressive disorder, and generalized anxiety disorder. I am labeled up, okay? But honestly, these diagnoses were like 10 jobs ago, and who knows what fresh hell is going on up here now. Now, I'm not trying to name it. I'm just trying to understand myself better. Not so that I can fix it, just so that I can stop blaming myself for not running a social battery that I was never issued. So what's your input on all of this? I really want to know. Drop it in the comments and I'll meet you there. Now, I'll be in a conversation auditing it like in real time, scanning for tone, subtext, and body language. It's not just am I connecting, but am I passing? Did I laugh enough? Was I too honest? Did I nod in the right places? Was I too quiet, too loud, too weird? Did I blink too slowly? If you need me to show up for something real, I am in. But if you need to touch base once a week just so that we can both pretend that we're staying connected, I'll ghost. I'm sorry. Not because I don't care, but because I can't sustain it. So no, I'm not great at keeping up with friendships. But if you need me to come over and fight a bear while holding iced coffee in one hand and loaded sarcasm in the other, I am already on my way. I think it's clear that I don't hate people, but for some reason I try to avoid them, and I really want to figure out why. Because I love connection. I love deep talks. I love inappropriate laughter and friendships where we cry about death and then send each other memes 5 minutes later. That's my kind of intimacy. I'm not antisocial. I'm just allergic to obligation disguised as bonding. I don't love this model of friendship that performs like a gaming app, right? Where you're expected to check in every few days, log your feelings, respond within the hour, and then keep up with everyone's milestone posts like you're in some kind of gamified emotional loyalty program. I didn't sign up for push notifications on human beings. Huh. The only check-in that I do weekly is with a group of unhinged legends on YouTube. Technically, it's called a YouTube membership, but really it's just us emotionally loitering together. If that sounds fun, it is. There's a link in the description to join. People say that you have to invest in relationships, but no one mentions the hidden fees, right? Birthday dinners, baby showers, bonus side quests like, can you validate my poor decisions? Or does this MLM sound like a good idea? I love you, but I can't be your emotional IT department. Have you tried unplugging your thoughts and plugging them back in? It's not that I don't want to stay close. It's just that I don't want to build a part-time job around managing the optics of our closeness. I want to love people without having to submit a 3-page affidavit because I forgot to reply to your text from last Wednesday. I'll take awkward honesty over polished obligation any day because I'm not emotionally available on demand. I'm not a vending machine. I am a slow-cooked stew of love and boundaries. And if you want microwave results, I'm going to disappoint you. There's no express lane here. You want a fast connection? Swipe right on a Greyhound. The only relationships that I trust are the ones that survive the silences. I have nodded my way through so many dead conversations just to dodge the label of being cold. Not to connect, just to manage perception, to prove that I was showing up. The only place that I've ever been able to keep that going long-term is my marriage. I love the relationship that I have with my husband, and I am so lucky that he loves me the way that he does. It is the only connection that I have been able to maintain that doesn't feel like work, that doesn't feel like I'm failing at some invisible checklist of emotional tasks. This is the only relationship that I've ever been able to grow and flourish in without it eventually collapsing under the weight of my own guilt and avoidance. He doesn't need me to be cheery or responsive or emotionally available at Tuesdays at 3 o'clock. He just needs me to be honest and make sure that we have enough cheese in the fridge. Most relationships don't work like this. They come with loyalty tests, hidden rules, and a full-time job description I never applied for. Like if I don't answer your text within an hour, I have failed some kind of invisible loyalty test and I can't do it. Not anymore. And the truth is I never could. I just spent a lot of years pretending I could because I didn't know I was allowed to stop. But now I just don't care about failing those tests. I'm not trying to pass anymore. That person, she's gone now. Quiet funeral, no guests. Rest in peace, Gold Star Sheila. So yeah, I'll admit it. I flake. I don't always text back. I make plans and then I cancel. Sometimes I RSVP yes just so I can cancel and feel accomplished. Not because I don't care, but because keeping up with people feels impossible to me and I have stopped pretending that I know why. How many good people have I pushed away because I didn't know how to explain it? How many friendships faded not from conflict, but confusion? They thought I didn't care. I thought that they didn't understand. And we both walked away feeling rejected by someone who was never trying to hurt us. Some people did get it, and those are the ones that I'm still close to. People I can disappear on without disappearing from. It's not that I don't want people, it's just I want people that I don't have to perform for. People who don't confuse absence with apathy. People I can go quiet around without losing the connection. It's not disconnection, it's low noise, low pressure, high trust. Honestly, it's the most sustainable relationship model that I've ever seen. Nobody claps, but nobody burns out either. With them, I can go 6 months without talking and then just jump right back in like no time has passed. That's my kind of friendship. Real, but unrushed. Present, but not performative. It's not about frequency, it's about safety for me. And when you find that kind of connection, you keep it, even if you only dust it off twice a year and take it out for tacos. For me, real connection is being with someone and not needing to explain my silence. It's not checking in, it's knowing that we're still good, even when we don't. It's a shared language of comfort and dark humor and don't touch me, but please sit near me. That's what love looks like to me. Not constant contact, just constant safety. And just to be clear, I'm not saying that my way is better. This isn't a blueprint. It's just my wiring. Some people love the group chat, the check-ins, the shared birthday calendar of brunches and emotional milestones. They thrive in that rhythm, and honestly, I admire it. That's great. I've just never felt at home there, and no amount of trying is going to make it feel better. This is just what I've learned, not because I figured it out fast, but because I kept trying to fit in and I kept failing. Maybe it's neurodivergence. Maybe it's trauma. Maybe I'm just finally paying attention to how much energy it takes to perform what other people call connection. I just want to go home, unzip my personality suit, and let the weirdness air out of there. Now, if that makes me a difficult friend, I'll take it, because the alternative is being a pleasant stranger to everyone, including myself. I'd rather be real than reachable. The truth is, connection isn't hard. Sustaining performance is hard. And the second that I gave that up, the second that I let go of proving I was worth including, I got something better than friendship. I got peace. So think about this. What if trying to fix what you perceive as broken was the problem all along? Here's the thing. It's not that I failed connection. I was never trying to connect. I was trying to pass. I was trying to pass for warm, for interested, for available, trying to pass for the kind of person who wants to belong in places that I was actively trying to escape. For most of my life, I didn't just think I was wired differently. I thought I was defective. Like I'd missed some critical childhood life training module on how to be a functioning member of society. I thought I was supposed to want the cookouts, the best friends, the birthday dinners, the constant check-ins, the HOA drama, and quarterly debates over hedge height and garbage can placement. And when I didn't, I assumed it was because something was wrong with me. Like I just didn't know the secret handshake. Learning about introversion in my 30s did help. I finally had words for the way that I shut down after too much talking, but it didn't explain the deeper part, the part where I just didn't need quiet. I needed distance. Distance from expectation, right? From emotional obligation, from pretending that I cared about things that I was actively resenting in real time. For a long time, I thought the goal was to fix it, be better at showing up, be better at texting back, be better at doing the things that people expected of me, even if it drained me. I thought that the problem was effort, that if I just worked harder, cared more, smiled bigger, I could earn belonging. And if I could just push through the resistance, fake the extroversion, perform the warmth, schedule the coffee dates, I could get better at it. But I never got better. I just got better at pretending. And it took me years to admit how much pretending was costing me. Not just in energy, but in identity. It cost me time. It cost me self-trust. It made me wonder if anyone would still love me without the pleasantries, the updates, the effort. And worst of all, it made me afraid to seek that kind of connection because I didn't believe that anyone would say yes. So instead, I kept auditioning for friendships, for belonging, for basic permission to be how I am. Because underneath all that effort was someone who didn't actually want more connection, just less surveillance, fewer status reports, and ideally no birthday brunches where everyone's pretending that they're not mad about the restaurant choice. I'm done pretending that I'm going to wake up one day and suddenly crave that version of connection, because I won't. I never have. Gold Star Sheila would have kept trying to earn an A in emotional participation, but I've learned slowly that I don't need to fix that part of me. I just need to respect it. And if you're wired like me, maybe this saves you some time. Stop trying to prove your worth including. Start noticing who feels like peace when you stop performing. You're not too much. Don't waste another year auditioning for a role that you don't want, especially if you're the only one who even knew there was a script. I can love deeply. I can show up hard, but I can't do it constantly. I can't be emotionally available on a subscription plan. I'm just not built for that. And I can't apologize for it anymore. I still believe in connection and I still want it. I just want the kind that doesn't demand a performance, the kind that doesn't make me choose between being liked and being myself. And I know it exists because I've built it slowly, quietly, imperfectly, but it's real and it feels like peace to me. So yeah, I don't fit in. I probably never did, but I'm not angry about it anymore. I'm actually grateful. If you've been holding the whole relationship together by over-functioning, overextending, and over-apologizing, maybe you weren't hard to love. Maybe you just were in relationships that couldn't hold you without conditions. If you're already exhausted by performative friendships and still trying to pass as someone that you're not, stop, please. It doesn't get easier. It just gets more confusing to remember who you were before the performance started. You don't have to burn the whole friendship group down. You can just slip out the back door. And trust me, the moment that you realize you're not broken, you're just built differently, that's when the real work starts. It's messy, it's hard, and it will blow up everything that you thought that you knew. But ignoring that is the real risk. Staying stuck in a life that doesn't fit, waiting for a permission slip that's never coming. You owe it to yourself to see what's next, because the next chapter, it's nothing like the script that you've been handed. It's the one that you get to write. So don't miss that right here.